Jared, tell them at the end of the podcast, if you want to plug your business or any organization you're affiliated with or your social media. At the end of the podcast will be that time. Which we can go around the room, you know. So we want to plug, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay.
All right. Here's that for.
Huh?
What a hitter. Yeah.
You move.
You probably gonna move up a
Professional
little.
setup in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like I say, these headsets live. So if I tap to one of y'all, you might need to come a little closer to the mic, because I'll be able to hear, you know, whether you're too far away. But like I say, I got them all turned up pretty good, so it's gonna grab your voice, you know. So, but just in case I say, you know.
Oh, I got them Breakfast Club mics.
You said you got an extension for this bad boy?
I don't have one.
You need me to move?
Would you-
So you can sit here?
Yeah, you probably switch. Yeah.
So Joe, you buying dinner after everything's over?
What's that? Yeah, I mean, we can go right there across the street to Sonic's or something.
Sonic's hot. You took to the exchange restaurant and get a buffet.
I did.
About $7.99 per
That
man.
Mexican place across the street?
No, exchange restaurant over there.
No, they closed, right?
For real? Oh,
Yeah.
I ain't eat Chinese food.
C&W.
You mean
whatever.
C&W?
Yeah, them boys. Boy, I was
haven't eaten Chinese food in about 3 years.
craving Chinese food the other day so bad. I drove by, I said, nah, I ain't gonna do it.
Joe,
Drove
right
to the
down
house.
there. You wanna do it?
Go home,
Drove
make
to
your
the
own sugar
house,
fried rice or
and
something.
turn right back around, go back to Chinese food.
All right, your boy ready?
Yep.
All right. All right. Welcome back to the podcast, Point of Perspective. We got a really good show today. Part 2 of the psychology of black business, specifically in Charleston. Got a lot of strong brothers here in this. I'm going to go around the room, everybody introduce themselves. Starting with you.
I'm Jabbar Perry, Sr. This guy's brother, you know, proud supporter of the podcast here, at Point of Perspective. And, you know, and owner-operator truck driver, black-owned business owner, and black-owned business supporter. Yes, sir. Thanks.
Jay Mazik with Jay Haynes Technical Solutions, network cabling company. Happy to be here.
I am the one and only Tawan Smalls of Smalls Mechanical LLC. Heating and air conditioning is my thing. Keeping you cool in your own home is my thing.
I'm Anthony Coakley. I'm in life and legal insurance.
Bernard Manigo, hashtag Mr. Carolina Fitness, hashtag Team Carolina Fitness. Fitness and health is my game. That's what I do.
That's awesome, man. So we got business owners in here because this is a very serious topic for the community. At the end of the day, if you don't own a piece of the pie, then you're forced to get whatever crumbs that they give you. So we're going to get right into it. Psychology of black business here in Charleston, South Carolina, specifically. First point, how do we as black business owners not get too emotionally drained by trying to promote our brothers and sisters in support of growth of the business?
Well, you know, had this conversation a few times. As far as, you know, I believe within our hearts, you know, we want to, you know, support and help one another. We do have, of course, like anybody, obstacles. And a lot of times we see we want to support somebody, maybe we give too much, you know, maybe it sets us, you know, or takes us off of the path that we should be on because we get too tired. I always look to, you know, business owners that kind of have a tough exterior, know how to give, the, you know, the energy that they can give to support, to help others start their own business, or to help others grow their own business, but at the same time, know how to cut it off if it's becoming toxic or something like that.
I guess for me, when I look at it and when I hear get too emotionally drained, business shouldn't be emotional. The approach of business should not be emotional. There'll be emotional components that come up, whereas your drive or your need for someone to succeed shouldn't exceed their need to want to succeed.
Now, I got a question. When y'all say emotional, how do y'all mean emotional?
I guess for me is if
And an emotional support, when you
right.
say,
The projects that jump off.
and editing on the fly.
It'd be like Fred G. Sanford and
All right,
intermission.
look here, we're gonna start that over real quick.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we wanted to put, unfortunately, it was only like 3 minutes in. Sorry about that, fellas.
I got some
No,
fancy
it's all
stuff
good.
in.
Huh?
Some fancy stuff in.
Oh yeah, soundboard. Andy, that's a great question. That's a great question. That's a great question. That's exactly what we got to identify, to break through these barriers, when I say barriers, that be the mental ones, so we can promote more business. That's a great question. Trying to get everything I just want to education, you know what I'm saying?
Marvin,
All right, welcome back. Point of Perspective podcast. Really, really good show. Part 2 of the psychology of black business, specifically in Charleston, South Carolina. Got some heavy hitters here. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
All right, hello, I'm Jabbar Perry Sr., Jermaine's brother, a proud supporter of this podcast, Point of Perspective podcast. I'm an owner, operator, independent truck driver, black business owner, and proud black business supporter.
yeah, how's it going? This is Joseph H. Mazik Jr., owner of J. Haynes Technical Solutions, Network Cabling. Let us get you connected. Thank you so much for having me on.
I am Torrin Smalls. I'm here to talk about Smalls Mechanical and black business, why restore comfort in your own home.
I'm Anthony Coakley. I'm a field writer for legal and life insurance.
Bernard Manigo, hashtag Mr. Carolina Fitness, hashtag Team Carolina Fitness, and fitness and health is the game.
Awesome, man. We're gonna get right into it. Very, very important subject. Black business, the psychology of it. And we're doing this as a panel discussion to touch on some topics that might be sensitive to people, but they need to be, spoken about. So we're gonna jump right into it. How do we as black business owners not get too emotionally drained by trying to promote our brothers and sisters in support of their business growth?
Yes, that's a very, very good question. When you see we come to the problems of while supporting one another, at times we could get snagged or hung up, could get taken off our path of our own progress by trying to help others. So, how do we, put that in perspective, essentially? And, a lot of times, what, we got in our hearts to do and to help others become successful or to see them have the same success we have. At times, that could be toxic when someone is not giving probably back the energy that you give to them to get them started. And so how do we deal with that?
So I guess my approach again is speaking to the emotional and drain part. business shouldn't be emotional. It should be, people use the term shrewd, because that person's about that business. And your need for that person to be successful shouldn't exceed their willingness to want to be successful. So it's either you're discipling someone, and you got to understand what the cost of discipleship is, when to stop, and allow them. You know, the term is teach a man how to fish, and he'll eat for a lifetime. If you give him a fish, he only eat for that day.
Right.
I don't think that you should never allow supporting somebody to be stressful emotionally to you or physically. You gotta, I think we gotta do our due diligence to support our brothers and sisters, but they have to provide a great quality of work.
Yes.
If they don't
Yes.
have a good quality of service they're providing,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna support that.
That's true.
Right.
It goes back to, I support those that I know have a good product or a good
Yeah.
service they provide.
Yeah.
Right now on Facebook, people's always asking about a plumber, electrician,
Right.
or whatever the case might be. And I support those that I know do good work.
Yeah.
I know some plumbers and I know some electricians that ain't gonna do right, they gonna show up on time, so I'm not
Right.
gonna support them.
Yeah.
It's just basically that
Right.
you should never allow yourself to get emotionally drained
Mhm.
because of somebody else, but if they don't take it seriously, then why should you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's
You
a
know,
great
it hurts
point.
us that we can't, all be the same when it comes to business, because you put your time and effort into a business.
Mhm.
That means you want to provide a service for everybody that they can use and enjoy
Mhm.
and get something out of it.
Yeah.
So as far as emotionally drained, that should never happen. You can only support them but so much.
Yeah,
Right.
it's true.
It is.
And the question is, what is emotional? Is emotional when you say, Caroline Fitness here, she does fitness, she does bodies, and somebody said, man, can you hook me up half of the price? Is that emotional?
No, I think emotional sometimes can be the point to where, like for me, for instance, I had a guy that I used to always promote him, refer him to everybody. Me being in heating and air field, I always call because they trust my work. They trust me. They'll say, well, Mr. Small, do you know a plumber, do you know an electrician, do you know a painter? And most of the time I can say, yeah, I do, and I can refer that person to him. But there's a particular instance where as it gets emotionally drained, which it did happen to me, I had to fall back. I was referring a person, and they would go to the jobs, never got it done right.
Okay.
Now the customer gonna call me and say, well, Mr. Smalls, this is still leaking on.
Yeah.
I still got a problem with it. Then it makes you feel bad because you support that person, you refer them to them,
Yeah.
and they didn't do right by the people, or they
Right.
might overcharge them.
Mhm.
Like I've had some guys, I referred them to people in the business that I can't get to them. They call me, Mr. Smalls, don't send that man back here. The price is too high. I can't dictate your prices, but I can refer somebody to you to get you some cooler air before I get to you.
Right.
So that's what can be emotional draining at. When you
Right.
refer somebody who's gonna make you look bad on
Right,
that
right,
I
right.
That's the
understand that
emotional
point.
draining part.
Great point.
But Bernard?
Always lead by example. Getting into something that concerns business, my suggestion, one of the only emotional aspects you might want to have is for it to be successful, make sure you love it, but also with that comes a level of professionalism, It's when the two collide that you will find success. A lot of it depends on that individual person. Even in business, especially in something so, sensitive like health and fitness, you learn that people get offended very easily, and even with your good intentions in helping this person, this client, this up-and-coming trainer, you can't be brutally honest. You can't be yourself, and you learn for them, you help them try to find their way along with letting them take the bumps and bruises for themselves as well. And I'm sure that's something that probably everybody on the panel here has experienced.
But I got a question for you. But in your business, and you saying brutally honest, but if somebody say, like me, I come in there and I say,
Right.
well, I don't look like you, but I got a lot of work to do. And you
Right.
got to tell me honestly, man, you got a lot of work to do for real.
Yeah.
And I can't get upset.
Well, no, I wouldn't say can't because people do.
Right,
People do.
right,
You
right.
know. Which is one of the reasons. When I say this, I want to be sure that I don't throw no shade in because this is going to poke. But That's one of the reasons why I do one-on-ones instead of the group setting. You know, because in a group setting, you got to make sure that you kind of cater to everybody. At the same time, you're making a situation almost impossible, as opposed to pulling that person and talking to them like you said. You know, you have a certain, you know, I can talk to you because we've come up together.
Right.
So our rapport is different, as opposed to somebody that I don't. As opposed to somebody you bring in with you.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I gotta see how I work the two. You understand?
Absolutely.
And again, people, clients, other entrepreneurs, get easily offended. You know, and I've learned it's part of my job to always remain professional. I get emotional. I want to tell you the truth about it.
Well, you know,
You know.
to piggyback off what Bernard was saying, what Tawan was saying, you know, I got a background in health and fitness as
Right.
well, and I'm gonna just touch on this real quick. When you go to seek out someone to help you, even though they're helping you, you gotta put in the work too. Okay, so you know, nobody can't make you do the right thing when it comes to what the trainer tells you what to do. So, and not everybody's gonna be cut out to be the next Ronnie Coleman or be as skilled as LeBron,
Right.
even if you got a trainer.
Right.
You have to know what are your limits.
Right.
And the same thing when it goes to, as Tawan was saying, supporting black businesses, you know, you really don't want to refer somebody like Tawan says, that's going to come back on you. That's the one thing I hate when you try to look out for somebody, because you are the point of contact
Right.
when you put somebody out there.
Right.
Even though they dealt with that particular business or trade, you're still the person that, you know, say,
Your
hey,
name
I think I got
your
the
name
person
is
for you.
attached to
So
it.
whether it's a personal trainer, whether it's heating and air, whether it's advice, you know, the insurance, you know, all these different things, you know, we want to have a good rapport with people so that we can build each other's businesses. You can't build a business if you want to start a business and you don't want to treat it for real.
Right.
And this is why people are opting to go to a different persuasion instead of coming to support their own.
Right.
And so as business owners, we have to take it serious because they take it serious.
Absolutely.
And so at the end of the day, if you're not going to take it serious, don't get in business.
Right.
Let's keep it going, fellas. What is the importance of minding one's own business? This is a concept from the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm not sure if everyone's read it, but it's a really good read. But like I said, what is the importance of minding one's own business?
Yeah, man, I tell you, that's one of the better books I've ever read, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it's, you know, definitely about the mindset, much like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And one thing that Kiyosaki pointed out, that, you know, when you want to get into business and truly become, you know, self-employed or whatever, you have to keep in mind the majority of us are set to mind other people's business than when you work for an employer. And that's pretty much what you're limited to. So what's the transformation in the mindset? And it's a lot of things that one will have to go through, really, to break through a lot of that. You know, because drive and ambition is one thing. I think I had a clean and removal business 21-something years ago, then a restaurant. You know, I had, you know, now I'm an owner operator. And I've always had that entrepreneurial mindset, but the one thing I think that probably wasn't lacking until a few years later was minding my own business, because I still had that employee's mindset. And so there's a transformation into breaking through, you know, and I'm truly still looking for my breakthrough. But I just think that's a pretty good question. It's something, you know, we can have, you know, nice discussion on. What do you think, James?
I'm thinking going from hustle to profit. Right? When you are a hustler or you hustling, it's all about that moment, that time, and that whatever it is that you're doing. But when you go into ownership profit, now you're looking at the dynamics of the entire business. What do I have to do to be profitable? What do I have to do? What is my loss? What is my operation cost? You know, what are the things that's going to make my business, sustain my business, and make sure that my business becomes what I want it to become? Or is this just me trying to make $1 today? If that's your mindset, then definitely, you're not minding your business. What you're doing is you're operating under the mindset of a hustle. When you're a business owner and you go beyond being an entrepreneur and you become a business owner and you become an owner, now you're looking at how does my business impact the community? How does my business impact my community, meaning my home, my lifestyle, the things that I want? What's the financial freedoms that I get from having this business? Because if my business is just making me enough money to take care of today, then I don't need to have a business. I can go work for somebody.
Right.
But if my business then builds wealth that's transferable, that I can impact my community and it doesn't impact my home, now I've moved into a position of ownership and I can do something that's more positive than just having a job.
Right on.
Ask that question again. I want to make sure I get good clarification
Okay.
on that question.
Once again, what is the importance of minding one's own business?
For me, that would mean to me staying in my own lane. There's a slew of other black businesses out there in the same profession I'm in. Oftentimes I went on jobs and a person may say, well, I had so-and-so here before, and I know them personally. And I would never discredit another black man in business. Whereas a lot of them before me have done that same thing. I'm not saying